Hello and welcome to RevSportz, and this is a very special interview because we have the head coach of the Nepal cricket team, Monty Desai. Nepal, although they missed the cut for the ODI World Cup, but they did win millions of hearts. Welcome to RevSportz, Monty sir, and tell me about how it is going when it comes to Nepal cricket. Your experience, your journey over the last 12 months, 14 months.
Well, it's been only 5 months. I count every single day, to be honest.
Yeah.
I try to live my every single day. So that makes me count every single day. When you say that Nepal has been a lot of millions of hearts around the world, it humbles me down but I would love to actually know those millions of fans, what they feel good about Nepal cricket. But yes, so far the journey has been roller coaster ride. Look, I realized that when I walked into Kathmandu and I met all the players and the journey that we were supposed to be on, it had its own challenges. But we all were able to quickly deep dive into the most important goal, which was to play good cricket and to bring the respect back for Nepal's ODI status thing. Let's put it that. And when it comes to World Cup, yes, mixed emotions. I thought that we had prepared well, mentally at least. That is the way I thought. Mentally we were prepared well because the kind of results that we were able to get in the games that we played in the League 2 cycle, plus the Asia Cup qualifiers, the way we played, I thought every single individual was stepping up beautifully. One, to understand their role, and more important, to understand the challenges. The mentality of winning those one-ball battles was helping us to win phases and to win games. And that is the kind of mentality which we carried forward to come into this World Cup. And I thought we straight away showed that mentality in the very first game against Zimbabwe, where our opening partnership was, a kind of a showcase of talent, skills that they possess. But like I said, a couple of results I would have expected to go our way. I wanted it at least that we should be in Super 6 to compete even more. But I now look back at it as growth and development and part of the progress.
Absolutely. I guess you are absolutely right. It's part of the progress. When you stepped into the coach's shoe of the Nepal cricket team, the team was going through a transition from Paras Khadka, the legend. Then you brought in plenty of youngsters, Gulshan Jha, Rohit Paudel. How did those youngsters step in or take that challenge of playing with the senior team and dreaming what they had never dreamt about?
You took the name Paras Khadka, so I was obviously part of the support staff with Pabudu as the coach long back. I think the biggest transition has been Paras Khadka himself, who has brought in the quality leadership around this small country. I always was impressed with Paras' approach, not only on field, off the field. He speaks from heart. He thinks about cricket. And when you talk about Rohit Paudel and all those are the boys actually who came under his wing. In 2018, when they came to the same place, Zimbabwe, they had their story even then, a last wicket partnership between Sandeep and Casey, which brought them into the World Cup qualifiers. And Paras who was captaining them then. And that was the first time they gained the ODI status. And actually I was in a different camp. I was with Afghanistan at that point. But yes, fast tracking that today, Rohit is shaping up well as a young leader. I know that he has set quite a few high standards for himself, and if you just talk about Rohit, I know for the fact that he must be personally disappointed about getting so many starts in the games over here and not able to convert into big ones. But again, that is part of the learnings. And when you talk about youngsters, yes, Gulshan Jha, we have spoken up already a couple of times. I really want him to stay humble, grounded. He's very fortunate, lucky, and I know that he is grateful about this opportunity. It's a constant development for him, which he needs to look forward to. His attitude is great. He can definitely shape up into an excellent all-rounder for this country. And there are quite a few other youngsters who are also shaping up. We were able to give opportunities in the last few games to Kishore, Mahoto, Pratish, who's been around. These are also some of the players who I look forward to shaping up well in the future. In a 4-year cycle, we have great opportunity to not just shape up our main core team, but also few players around them. So overall, it's looking very.
And as a coach, if I have to ask you, when you stepped in, the team was, I guess, if I recall correctly, they were second last in League Two. The ODI status was in danger, but now suddenly after a year, you are going to play against the big boys in the Asia Cup. So that particular achievement of qualifying to the Asia Cup, locking horns with the likes of Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, all these big boys of the Asian continent. How heartfelt it is for you to see Nepal under your tutelage, that they are going to play the Asia Cup, which is a major tournament by the way.
At the moment, we talk, but I think the whole support staff, contributed towards this journey, and more importantly, I'm thankful to the boys that they were able to embrace the mentality which we were trying to educate them towards. I wanted to mold their attitude.
Right.
We wanted to mold their attitude, and there is a difference which I could see. Like I said, coming into these World Cup qualifiers, if I have to be very honest, playing against those big boys, actually watching some of those big boys only on the television, that's the way they shared with me about West Indies, and then to play against them live, I can feel it now that where sometimes those healthy nerves comes from. And I say healthy nerves because I consider this part of their progress. That's why these are healthy nerves. When they'll play a game few more times, all these boys, they will very quickly shift that belief that they belong. That is something which I'm actually enforcing onto them. But as much as I try to push it into their mind, it is very important that they start believing that they belong. Look, we are constantly learning, and now going in after this, now we are heading towards Emerging Cup, which is part of our development play against India A, Sri Lanka, and other teams, which will be a platform for us to again, prepare for the Asia Cup. So, yes, super happy for them, and this year has been good for them with number of ODIs they have been able to play. Knowledge, information. You get so excited about every game unfolds in a way.
Right, but you mentioned the word healthy nerves there. For example, for a Rohit Paudel or a Gulshan Jha, when they step onto the field and they suddenly see a Virat Kohli casually walking or warming up, or a Mohammad Shami gearing up, or a Siraj gearing up to bowl at them, or for example, Pakistan Shaheen Afridi getting ready to bowl at them. What do you tell them as a coach? Because I am pretty sure that motivation factor, of course, tactics and everything are there, but motivation factor has worked wonders for Nepal in this journey over the last year or so.
We have created an environment where, like I said, we are holding their attitudes. But let us understand, the desire to represent the country is huge. The other thing is, you are also trying to deeply dig into your own identity.
Right.
And that's starting point of everything.
Right.
So the skills that they have when they compete against these players, and they are able to see that they are competing well, they're connecting to their identity. My message to them is strong and clear, which is change your personality to change your personal reality. And at the moment, our personal reality is changing. We are now an ODI status game country.
Right.
We are ranking in the top 15. That is a personal reality at the moment. And we can only go upwards. The preparation and the practice which goes on is equally, it's equal to any other person. Whatever they know, they try to work hard on that. And the curiosity around what they want to learn, they are digging deep. They are trying to constantly look out for information. They're constantly looking out for knowledge.
Right.
And then they're putting it in practice.
But coach, if I have to ask you about Sandeep Lamichhane, he has become a sort of a role model for the entire Nepal cricket-loving country. He has become, after Paras Khadka, if we recall someone from Nepal, then it is Sandeep Lamichhane, the global superstar. Of course, there was a bit of controversy in between when it comes to Lamichhane, but as a player, how has he dealt with all the negative headlines and kept working on his game and kept being a leader within that team?
And obviously I've spoken about certain things which have come across Sandeep in the past. But, before going to Sandeep, I need to talk about one thing, which is I only understand cricket life. In cricket life also, we sleep, we eat, we jog, we have fun, we enjoy music like any other normal person. But because our life revolves around cricket life,
Right.
we also have a cricket language, and we
Right.
speak in that cricket language.
That's a brilliant note to end this interview. Thank you again, sir. And it was a fantastic chat. It was a lovely chat.
Thank you.